guess
Here we
I
are.
won't
Hello.
crunch on my iced oatmeal
Ooh.
Costco brand cookie because that would be a terrible choice now that we hit record.
Well,
Like,
I welcome that. And I will maybe be sipping on some tea because I don't
uh,
know if you can actually hear it in my voice, but I am definitely a little bit, maybe
yeah, under the
possibly
weather.
in denial, but definitely coming down with something. Yeah,
What a bummer.
it is a
You know it when it
bummer.
happens. It
And I
happens.
knew it was coming because everyone around me has been sick.
Yeah.
And last night, like yesterday evening, in the midst of the purge at my parents', like tossing out all
Mm.
my old dusty binders and
Well,
folders. I don't
that's
even
not
want to talk
helping.
about it. Yeah, no, I just, my throat was like, uh-oh. And so between all that dust,
Yeah.
harvest time going on, and
Yeah.
also people are just sick, I woke up this morning and was like, oh no.
Things are happening.
But and I kind of wanted to lay in bed, but instead I went and ran 11 miles. So
Oh, naturally, as
like,
one
yeah,
does.
I could just rest, or what I really want to do is run 11 miles in the woods. And I felt fine while I was moving.
Yeah.
So then
Well,
it's just, the aftermath. But oh well.
oh
Anyway,
well.
so here I am. I've got tea with honey, and I'm excited to be talking to you today, Jordan.
Yes. Well, welcome everyone to another episode of Millennial Mom Thoughts.
What's up? What's up? What's
Good,
up?
good. I'm glad that we were back into doing that as part of our. We had a few where it was like we just started
Hmm.
and didn't say our normal intro, and I think people would be
I
disappointed,
think
you
so
know?
too. We
We
got a
need
little
routines.
overconfident. We need
We
our
did.
routines.
Bring it
Yes.
back.
A little bit of
Um,
stability.
Well, I am, as I mentioned already, very proud of myself for our episode title,
Yeah.
which I will. We don't normally, I think, say the episode titles, but I'm going to say this one.
Say
I've got rhythm. You've got rhythm. We've all got an algorithm.
it. Yep. And
Good.
you asked me if we could talk about algorithms this week, and I said absolutely, as long as you're ready for me to reference Don Cheadle's career-defining role as
Yes,
Al G. Rhythm in Space Jam 2.
absolutely.
So that
Do
was
you?
that. That was the
Oh, that was
reference.
it. That
That
was
was
it.
it. I
Okay.
just really
I
wanted to say that.
I thought you'd
Um,
maybe say more about it, but
no,
it was just
nope.
quite literally saying it.
I really don't even remember much about that movie other than
I've never seen it.
Don Cheadle as Algae Rhythm. It was,
I saw the first one,
oh yeah, yeah.
but
It was
not.
fine for what it was.
Okay.
Was it necessary? No,
Eh,
but most
yeah,
sequel remakes
sequels.
are, yeah, cash grabs, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
It
I
was-
get it.
but it was entertaining to some extent.
Now in my
So
head, I'm singing Space Jam, so
that is one of my top jams.
such a good song. I got Camden into it. He likes it. He likes that song.
Nice.
We dance.
I'll come teach him my dance. My friends and
Please
I
do.
choreographed a dance to Space Jam. I believe like either junior or senior year of high school. Like
Oh, I love that.
we were such a good little bunch. Yeah.
Coordinated
There's
dances.
a music video out there somewhere.
Of
But
course.
very excited to talk about algorithms, excited to learn from you today.
Yeah. Gosh, I
And
hope I'm sufficient enough in my. I mean, I did. I have some sources that I'm gonna go over, but
absolutely. Before
I
we
also
get into
just
it,
have a lot of thoughts.
yeah, do you have any life updates or anything to share before
Um,
we?
Yeah, so the documentary that I
Mhm.
talked about, I think was that just last week? Yeah, it had to have been. Um is scheduled. It's for October
Yay.
6th.
Boo.
I know, I'm sorry. I did
It's
it's like the one Monday,
like,
so I
yeah,
yeah, Camden does Monday night soccer,
yeah.
and so that's the one week that they're off because that's actually register for the
Mm.
next installment of soccer. Um and so there wasn't something at night, and Brian's done with his sectional
Oh,
rehearsals Monday
nice.
nights.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, this is kind of it, because otherwise
Nice.
it's either band or I'm tutoring, and
Hmm.
then it's a Friday, and then the library's not open Friday nights. Plus,
Yeah. Who's no one's
who's
coming to
nobody's
watch a
no one's coming to watch.
informational.
No.
Yeah, no.
So that's on the calendar,
Yeah.
and I had a nice conversation with Alyssa at the library
Hmm.
about just kind of it's I'm almost embarrassed to say I didn't even think about like, oh, I can just like it's not renting because it's not paying, but check out the space in the library and just
Mm-hmm.
host it. In my head at first, I thought, well, this has to be something just, big. Like I have to put it in the auditorium and a whole bunch of people are going to come but I'm starting small and then
Mm-hmm.
hopefully offering it multiple times
Yeah.
over the next couple months.
Yeah.
And Smartphone Free Childhood US and the filmmakers Jolt have been super helpful with the emails,
Good.
instructions, and signing up and getting all that ready to go for me. And then as of recording, so the room can only hold 15, well, 16. I'm the 16th, but 15 people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought I'd be thrilled if like five signed up.
Yeah.
And right now I have four people that have
Nice.
signed up.
Nice.
One of them I actually know and asked her like, "Hey, would you be interested in coming to this?" And she said yes,
Mm-hmm.
and she signed up. And then the other three I do not know
Yay.
personally. So
Great. That's
it's
wonderful.
getting out there. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
If
so I'm
anyone is listening to this now and they want to attend, what do they need to do?
Yeah, honestly, the best way, because I have only posted it, well, three places. My personal Facebook, but I
Mm-hmm.
made it a public post so
Mm-hmm.
you could see it if you searched my name. Um, or if you're in the Wait Until Eighth group,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're in the Morton Moms Facebook group.
There you go. Yeah.
So that's really it. So I guess just my
Perfect.
my Facebook. But
And I could legitimately put it in the show notes as well. I can
oh
add a
yeah,
link in there. So wherever
yeah.
you're listening to this now,
Yes,
we'll have
there
a
is
link.
a register. It's free, but there is a
Okay.
registration form that literally is just my Google form. It goes to me so I can make sure that I don't accidentally like overbook
Mm-hmm.
the room. Plus, there's a post viewing survey
Mm.
that I have to send that people, hopefully everyone, but people can fill out, and then that goes back to the film creators.
Nice.
So I'm very excited about that. And I am hopeful that I can then offer what I did originally kind of picture in my head as like a bigger
Mm-hmm.
viewing within a panel discussion at
Mm-hmm.
the end with people in the community and resources. And
Mm-hmm.
I think I need to kind of light a smoldering fire
There you
that
go.
that continues to grow.
Oh, I love that. Grow into nights of the week that are not Monday so everyone can go.
I know.
That's the goal, Just
Yeah, well,
kidding.
it won't
No, it's
be with
I
soccer.
know, I
It
know.
won't be the maybe I mean past November it can be Tuesday nights because then Brian's done with band.
Oh yeah, true.
So that could be in our future.
Who knows?
So yeah,
No, that's very exciting. I'm super glad that it seems like it just kind of got together so quickly,
it did.
which
Well, yeah, and the process to like request it when I
mhm.
had originally heard about it, I'm in a WhatsApp. Now, do you use WhatsApp? I've never
You
even
know
asked you.
what? That is what Mitch and I use now exclusively for us,
Oh.
because he doesn't get service in his classroom because he teaches out of a concrete basement,
Oh.
like a concrete box underground.
Yeah. There you go.
So we've started using WhatsApp, and then we only imported each other's contacts, so we literally just and now when we're, not during school time, we also mostly just talk through WhatsApp because
You're already
the
there.
conversation's already there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had never used it until just I think it was like June, maybe July, maybe God, maybe in August. I joined the Smartphone Free Childhood US has, which I had to figure this out because then I made my own.
Mhm.
I'll share in a moment about a kindergarten group, but
Hmm.
they have I it's like you have a section, like it's the name Smartphone Free Childhood, and then within that there's like subgroups.
Mm.
So it's like a main group,
Mhm.
and then there's a book club group, there's a Wait
Oh,
Until Eighth
nice.
group, there's an ed tech group, and then there's one called National Group. That's I think where the most people are. But I've joined a few of those. Oh, there's an Illinois group too, but there's literally like 6 or 7 people. So it's kind of small. And it's just sharing ideas, asking questions, posting articles, posting like just videos or relevant things to
Mm.
the cause, if you will.
Mhm.
Um, and I have learned, oh my gosh, so much. And I will say, It is like so respectful. It is
Mm.
not
I
Facebook.
was gonna say that sounds wonderful. It sounds like a much
It
better
is,
alternative to the
there
Facebook
is
page.
actual dialogue,
Yeah.
and even when people disagree, and there was a whole, I should send you this thread or screenshot it. There was a whole debate or discussion around graphic novels
Mm.
and whether or not they are basically good or bad. And some are like, I do not let my kids read graphic novels.
What?
And some are like, hey, at least your kid is reading. But it's
Yeah.
kind of like the candy of books, like it's
That's
not quality.
I think I
And
need to get in this group and
it was
and
so interesting.
I mean that is interesting.
And I
I highly
hadn't
disagree
thought
with
about,
yeah,
yeah.
but
Well, and there were some teachers in it. There's, I mean, there's all just all kinds of
yeah.
people in this group. I don't remember how many hundreds. It's not, I don't think it's 1,000. So it's like it's a pretty small
That's cool.
group so far. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll send you the invite link. It's
Sure.
really,
Cool.
really interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's
Love
how I
that.
got familiar with WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And then I used it locally
Mm.
because a friend of Camden, or the dad of Camden's friend, the one that listens to our podcast,
Okay.
he
Hello. Shout
yeah,
out.
shout out. Shout out Camden's friend's dad. Um I know it's like I don't know that people want their name said
Yeah.
or not, but he had a group text going with his son's like preschool friends from elementary school, or the school last year, Grundy, and then the like daycare. And
With
then
the parents
yeah, the
of these
parents.
kids.
Yeah, not the
Yeah.
kids. Sorry, good clarification. Just the parents of like, hey, we're gonna go to the
Yeah.
park. Does anyone want to meet up? And I loved that because I
Mhm.
am always like, I'm always going to the park with them,
Yeah,
but it's fun to be able to have him play with some friends.
for sure.
And I think it came up that like, hey, I've got the group chat, but I can't add anybody to it because somebody doesn't have an iPhone. So
Mm.
if there's somebody in the mix that doesn't
Yeah.
have the iPhone, then you can't add them unless you start a whole new group chat,
Oh, weird.
which is annoying.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I've been using WhatsApp, so let me like I'll make a WhatsApp group of like Morton kindergarten friends. And it ended up working pretty well. And then we've had a couple like play dates
Oh,
scheduled
wonderful.
through that. And then people can join as they get the link. It's like, I think we have all, well, except for Letty Brown. I don't know if there's anybody for Letty Brown in that or not. But I also don't know everybody in the list. So,
Mm.
Saturday we had a Gaga Ball
Yeah, can you
play
tell me?
date.
I don't know
Oh
what.
my gosh, Helen.
Say it again. Is it Gaga? Gaga?
Gaga.
Gaga. Okay.
Gaga Ball.
It
So
looks
it's
like four square, but the
in
ball
an
doesn't
octagon.
go around the. Okay.
Yeah, it's like this octagon. I don't know if
Interesting.
it's actually 8 sides or not, but I call it the octagon. It's this big, like enclosed,
Yeah.
fenced in little octagon space, and the floor is like a rubbery floor. And it's a dodgeball, like or a
Uh,
kickball that bounces, but you can only hit, or you're only out if it hits from the knee below. You can't kick it or throw it. I don't think you can catch it, but now I'm debating. I don't know the rules, but you like smack it with your
okay.
hand, and so it can go against the wall. And if it hits your foot or below your knee, then you're out.
Okay.
But to start the game, everybody has to get on the wall. There's a maximum of 15 people that can play at one time, and then it's just pure chaos. And it's so fun to watch. Camden
Yeah.
gets so into it. Um, and it was just it was a lot of fun. It was
Yeah.
just different families were able to show up, and then there were some kids that rode up on their bikes that
Aw.
they also played. They were some older boys, and I was like, this is I I tried not to get weirdly emotional in front. Like this is what I love,
Oh.
because I also think like we have no family here. So there's no
Hmm.
family in well, his sister lives in Chicago, but I consider that a whole different world. It's 3 hours away. So we
Right.
have no family anywhere near us. And I grew up with a ton of cousins that quite literally got together every month, if not multiple times a month, and played. And so like we don't have that here. And so for
Hmm.
me, setting up and getting these play dates are like this is my way of letting him play on weekends outside of school hours
Hmm.
with other kids where it's just open free play.
Hmm.
And so I just love that because that's what I did with my cousins.
Yeah.
There were a
Yeah.
lot of us, and
Yeah.
they were all about my. Have I gone through all the The thing, like, have I said the
I
thing
don't
about the Jays? I'll do that
know. Have
real
I
quick.
said the thing about I have two cousins?
You only have two cousins?
Yeah.
I have a lot more than two. I think I have, do I have 13 or 14 cousins? I have to count. So my mom and dad are each families of five. My mom is all girls, so it's five girls, and my dad is uh, three sisters and a brother.
Okay.
They are all Jays on
Wow.
both
Both
sides.
sides. Oh
So
my gosh.
my dad is Jackie, Jenny, Jerry, Judy, John, and my dad's John.
Yeah.
And then my mom is Joanne, and she's the youngest. So it's Jeffra, Jama, Janine, Janelle, Joanne.
I didn't know you had, see, because I have John and Janine, but I didn't know you had a
Yes.
Janine. I bet your Janine is spelled not the weird way my mom's
Yeah. Well,
is.
I think when I first saw your mom's name,
Yeah.
it's like Jeanne or
Jeanin.
G.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my Aunt Janine is
Yeah.
Janen. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
So yeah, all J's, and then I'm Jordan. My sister's
mhm.
Jessie. I have a
That's
cousin JD. I have a cousin Jenna. But
so
not
all the
everybody's a
I was
J.
gonna
No,
say we're
not all
all
the
the
cousins are
cousins,
J's.
Jays.
No, then there's a Rachel and an
Do I
Ellie and a
need to start
Lou.
calling your kids Jamden and Jilly?
No, we did not continue. I suppose if I had married, if Brian wasn't Brian, he was a J name, maybe we would have
If you
kept
had
it
married one
going.
of your cousins, yes, we. I'm just
No,
kidding.
not even a thought. Yeah. So yeah, if cousin wise,
Yeah.
each family had two, so
Mhm.
that's yeah, is that right? Everybody had two? Oh my gosh, am I forgetting a cousin? No, I'm not. Okay. And then on my mom's side, there are two boys, and then Aunt Trevor had three, and then a boy. So yeah, I have a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
And my dad's side was all in Carmel. So
Hmm.
I was just there was always a birthday. Good grief with that many people. It's like
Hmm.
there's a birthday or multiple every month. My cousin Ellie has the same birthday as me. We're both March 26th.
Nice. Yep. We've got triple birthday over here because I've
Oh, that's right. You guys have the
because
same.
my dad and
Yeah,
sister have always shared a birthday, and then Violet's due date was February 1st, and she
which
was definitely not ready to
that would have been a very
arrive then,
special.
or the next day,
Yeah.
or the next day, or the
Yeah.
and 10 days later, well, not 9 days later, we went into the hospital.
Yeah.
And as it became clear that like, oh, baby is not coming tonight, like
Yeah.
she is going to in fact be born on my dad and sister's birthday.
Well,
Wild, wild. And
yeah,
he
that is
he called it all along, and now he has predicted that she'll start crawling on October 1st.
okay.
So it
Okay.
it
Very
could
soon.
happen very soon, but she's very close. It's like
Yeah.
every time, I don't know, she's
She's
figured
doing,
out every way to move around the room
I was gonna
except
say, is
for
she doing like
actual
the
crawling.
rocking? Yeah.
Lots of rocking, lots of rolling, lots of
Oh, that's funny.
reach, and then she rolls over. It's
That's a
very
fun phase.
cute. It is
Oh
fun.
man,
Yeah,
she's
I'm very
gonna get
excited for
real
her, but I'm
mobile.
also, yeah.
Things
Yep.
change. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my life update. Is that Violet is just
Baby's
being
almost crawling.
adorable, almost crawling. We
Yeah.
actually went back to the apple orchard yesterday, took
Oh,
one of
did
my
you?
nieces. Yeah. I
Which
owed
one?
her Sadie. Owed her
And
a
which
oh,
orchard?
which orchard? Sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay. Also.
The Christ Orchard. So we
Okay.
went back out
Yes.
there. Because I owed her a birthday date, adventure date from her birthday in May. Also, Hannah just got caught up on listening to us and was sending me all my like fact checks that I knew
Oh
she like,
no.
half the time I say things, I'm like, wait, Sadie's birthday is in May, right? I think so. And like, yeah, so I think that's when it is.
We probably need an
um,
entire episode for
yeah, that's when
retractions
we
and
we'll
corrections
just have
and
Hannah on. She'll let us know. That's what she said. She's like, I don't want to come talk about serious things with you guys, but I do want to give my
Helen
um
Helen got this wrong about our family. Yes, please update.
but yeah, anyway, Violet and I went out with her and we had a little picnic. And
Well,
then
that's fun.
like 90% of the reason I said like, hey, let's go out to the apple orchard is because of the ice cream truck that the
Oh,
last time we went
yeah.
out, I did not get anything. I got a waffle cone yesterday and I ordered a single scoop, but when they stuck that hand out the window, I was like, that's a lot of ice cream. And she was like, she accidentally made a double. It was the
That's
best.
no
It
accident.
was, yeah, no.
That sounds like a good
It
day.
was
I know we didn't
incredible.
get ice cream last time,
Yeah,
but
I know. Yeah, your kids got those nasty chocolate covered Rice Krispie
I know.
melty
They
weird.
didn't even eat them. Like
Uh-uh.
I just threw them away. It was for a memory. They took a bite. It's fine. But what can you do?
Well, what we can do is
Yes.
define algorithms.
Well, I quite literally put the definition,
Yes.
define, noun, algorithm. The plural noun is algorithms.
Mm.
A process or set of rules to be followed in calculations or other problem-solving operations, especially by a
Hmm.
computer. And I
Hmm.
didn't think about this, but just we as people use algorithms all the time, like following just a set of instructions or rules,
Hmm.
like tying your shoe. You go through a set of steps. Baking a cake, you go through a set of steps. So, anyways,
Yeah. See,
but
because when I hear the word algorithm, like I get a little bit of chills, shudders
yeah.
thinking about AP Calculus, a
Oh.
notebook of which I just threw out yesterday. I was like, this is one I know I don't need in my life. So that was an
Just
easy
yesterday,
chuck
throw it out.
into the dumpster. But yeah, like in math, I feel like that's where I perhaps first was
Yes.
introduced to the idea of an algorithm, but I like, just thinking about that basic definition. It is a process, a set of rules, something to be followed.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
and now, certainly when I hear the word
Yes.
algorithm, I don't flash back to math class. I
Mm-hmm.
just think of what is being shown to me on
Mm-hmm.
my phone. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, computers use, a complex set, but more complex is what's coming to us online and
Mm-hmm.
things like Facebook and Instagram. And did you ever do TikTok? Did we talk
Nope.
about that? Okay, I haven't either. I
Never have.
downloaded it
Do not plan
once
to.
and I think I had it for a day, not to make any, like, I'm not making any content, but just to see, like, yeah, the synchronized. I was like, I guess everybody just takes videos of themselves dancing. I don't understand. Um, and because I watched Mom Talk. Do you remember that? Or that's not the name of the show. There's a show about these women in Utah. It's called Mom Talk. Oh my
Oh,
gosh, what is the name of the show? I don't know. I just know they're called Mom Talk and there
okay.
was drama.
Yeah.
And that's why I watched it. It was
Yeah.
like Real Housewives, but way
Okay.
worse,
Yeah.
which is I didn't know was possible, but I watched it. It was on Hulu. Um, so algorithms, I was trying to think like what is it that I really want? We all hear the word algorithm.
Hmm.
So when I was kind of thinking through what is it that I actually care about and want to talk about with algorithms, it's more, sorry to say it's the negative side, but it is like what is happening to young people.
Hmm.
And so I was thinking teenagers specifically, because that is kind of the prime target of social media and using
Hmm.
that and what gets fed to them. And
Hmm.
we've talked before about like screen time, like addiction, and it's not necessarily the screen time, but like the
Hmm.
the I hate to use the word quality, but the type of use.
Yeah. Like it's really
Um,
not about blue light, like all like
yeah,
that's
like that can
not
be a
really the issue. That can
piece
be a
of
small
it,
piece of
but
it, but really how it's,
it's how it's
changing your
being
brain
used.
is
Yeah,
is yeah,
the
these.
rewiring. So
Mhm.
I mean, I read through kind of a very, I mean, it was a published article. Where was it from? Let me pull it back up. The National Library of
Mhm.
Medicine. And it was very, I will definitely not go through this all because it was very, very wordy as I won't say it was over my head, but there were
Mhm.
parts where it was like a lay person, if you will, is not going to read this and be like, I
Mhm.
understand every single piece. I didn't understand every piece, but it was essentially like focusing on teenage addiction
Mhm.
and the brain impact. Like,
Mhm.
what does that do? And then what are the, ethical pieces to algorithms and social media companies and
Mhm.
just all kinds of things because prolonged use of social media, even without studies, I think we can probably gather that
Mhm.
it's not good for you
Right.
for all kinds of reasons. But focusing on teens, it is it is adjusting their brain and their brain
Mhm.
chemistry and pathways and emotional regulation and just all of those
Mhm.
things.
This is really because I'm just glancing through the abstract now, and even, this
Yes.
idea that these adaptive algorithms, I'm just quoting from it here, but these
Yeah.
adaptive algorithms are designed to maximize screen time, thereby
Yeah.
deepening the activation of the brain's reward centers. This cycle of optimized content and heightened engagement accelerates the development of addictive behaviors. The interplay between the altered brain physiology and AI-driven content optimization creates a feedback loop, right, that
Yes.
promotes social media addiction among teenagers, raising significant ethical concerns regarding privacy and the promotion of
Hmm.
personalized content. And that's right, like it's
Yeah.
not only that there is this rewiring happening, this altered brain physiology, but also like what is the purpose of this? Like
Yeah.
why is this happening? And it all comes back to breach, like it's breaches of privacy, it's promoting content, aka it's
Oh,
selling
yeah.
something. And because like you said, we're going to be talking about the negatives, hard to think of positives. Like, okay, the positives of algorithms for me is that when I mindlessly want to scroll, I can open up one of these apps and see dogs. Like I can see
Right.
random dogs out there. Like that's the
Yeah.
small positive,
That
because
is the
sometimes that
positive.
brings me joy, right? Seeing
Yes.
funny dog videos or whatever else. But then also like I
Well,
I have a dog, Jordan. She does funny things.
yeah. Your time spent and I do like I understand that that can be a positive when you do want that break in your day.
Hmm.
Now, I'm starting to look at other things than like using social media, but
Hmm.
I mean I do the scrolling and
Yeah.
I won't say doom scrolling anymore. I think I haven't done the like the downward
Hmm.
spiral of oh this was a bad thing and
Hmm.
now it's depressing to see this and now I'm being fed more
Hmm.
depressing stuff that I keep
Right.
seeing and it just makes me
Yes.
feel like crap.
Yeah. And that is
Um
the algorithms at work. And that is where
yes.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So I did read an article and I forgot to link it in our notes about like how to train your
Hmm.
algorithm, like how to reset your algorithm.
Hmm.
I can put that in there, but I just keep thinking and maybe I'm skipping ahead even from kind of what I put in our notes, but I'm thinking of myself as a teenager.
Hmm.
If if I had social media as a teenager, oh man, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine
Hmm.
because I already know the struggles those teen years are just for my own lived experience and
Hmm.
the media consumption I had that influenced negatively, the things
Hmm.
that were negatively influencing me. I guess I should clarify when I say negatively, it's like body image and
Hmm.
comparison and like
Hmm.
wanting. I'm thinking through, like, I think I wrote my notes. Did you ever? I know we're a little bit different in age, but like the Delia's catalog. Was that a thing for you?
I
Like,
mean, it must have been Hannah's.
oh
It must have come through
man.
from my older sister
Oh well, yeah, you would have
because
seen. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
Hannah
yeah,
would
that
know.
does ring a bell. And then
There are a
but I
couple
would like
others.
cut out picture, right? This was like a clothing catalog, right? And
Yes,
I would
or
cut them
limited
out
to.
and make little outfits, like almost like little paper dolls with the Delia's magazine.
Oh, I used
So
to
funny.
do tons of collages. That was my
Yeah.
like I would get a big poster board
Yeah.
with all my magazines. I can't even fathom the amount of money that was probably spent on magazines in my teenage years. 17, YM,
Mhm.
Teen People. Um, I don't think I was allowed to buy. I think Cosmo Teen was a thing, and
Yeah.
I don't believe I
Yeah.
was allowed to buy that. I might have bought it a few times anyways, but
What?
yeah, sorry, Mom.
Do you need me to cut this out?
No, no. I'm exposing the truth from past. Yeah, but like that. So what I was thinking about today was my media consumption, and of course TV and movies. Like that was obviously present, and I used the internet, but most of my like what are other people my age doing kind
Hmm.
of did come from magazines, like
Hmm.
17 magazine, and that was
Hmm.
I was on it. I could close it and put it away. And even if I was internalizing and going through,
Hmm.
all the debate in my head of like, I'm not this, or I'm not pretty enough,
Hmm.
or I'm not wearing the right clothes, or whatever it
Hmm.
was, it didn't buzz in my pocket.
Hmm.
It wasn't. it was 2D. It wasn't a
Hmm.
video. It wasn't some influencer teenager with skincare videos of like, you better be doing this
Hmm.
every single day or hair. And some of that can be fun, but
Yeah.
oh, I'm just thinking of the pressure specifically because I'm a
Hmm.
girl, specifically on girls
Yeah.
and what the algorithm can then do to an insecure teenager, which I would venture to guess most are. That's kind of the
Hmm.
the point of teenage years. You're figuring things out and there's
Hmm.
insecurity in that. And just knowing that if you have social media and use it really at all,
Hmm.
the the things that are going to be fed to you, I it's terrifying. I
Hmm.
even the
Yeah.
most well-meaning, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna use this minimally, or parents, having secure parenting locks, all the functions and the features of safety locks. I mean, I know Instagram's under some, or Meta is under
Hmm.
some major heat right now, as they should be. The Instagram teen accounts did not
Hmm.
promise the safety features that they were promising. It was like they
Hmm.
don't work. They are
But the
smoking.
commercials were so aesthetically
Oh my
pleasing
gosh. It's
as
all
they interrupted my
smoke and
YouTube
mirrors.
videos.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So
no, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
now that's kind of where I was when the whole algorithm thing
Yeah.
started, because I was thinking through what I'm being shown now. And so in one way the algorithm has helped me because I keep finding other articles or
Hmm.
links to accounts that are, which I'm kind of, I'll be honest, this is why I also wrote down shadow banning, which I'll talk
Hmm.
about. I'm a little surprised that I am being fed the content that I am because it is against social media.
Sure, yeah.
And so it's interesting to me that I'm being fed some of this because that is not what a social media company wants to
Hmm.
promote, which is anti-social media.
Hmm.
Um,
And
so
just,
yeah, you go.
yeah. No, well, one of the things you said, with like the 17 magazine, for example, is that you can close it, you can put it away, right?
Yes,
But also
yes,
you can open it back up and it's going to be the same, which I think is
exactly.
such a significant comparison to now that like you watch that skincare routine video. I've never watched a skincare routine
No, I
video.
haven't either.
I'm 31 years old. I've given up on that. But um I'm sure the internet would highly disagree with that, and there's 100 magical
Oh,
products out there for me. But and you know what I'm trying to say is that like
yeah.
you open the app back up, and that video it's just gone. Like it's so hard to find if you
Yeah, and it's
haven't
something
saved it
new.
or something. And
It's
and then
something
yes,
new.
and it's something new. And oh, but you did this. Well, now here's
Yeah.
these 10 new ways to do the same thing. So there's that aspect of it. And I was also thinking too that, okay, I did grow up with social media in my teenage years. Like social media was a thing. I had a Facebook starting, I think I said freshman year
Yeah.
of high school rather, but it was so very different from how it is now because it really was just status updates. It was something
Yeah.
you could go on and you would see your, however many people. And first, I'm sure I had couple hundred friends that I was following. And anyone who may have posted that day, you could just scroll through and see in chronological order what people were up to. What isn't that what did it ask? It used to say,
Yeah, it's like your
um,
name is.
yes, that's right. That's right. So then you go back,
Yeah.
you get these like, 20 years ago today, and it's
Yeah.
out of context. It's like, what? Because yeah, your name is. So like Helen Plevka is eating a sandwich, LOL.
Right.
Which is what
Right.
I remember my dad, like for the longest time being so anti-social media, like, who cares? Who wants to know? John Plevka, blah, 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 blah. And now, as I'm sure you know, he is
He's an active user.
very, very much an active user as a journalist, right? And so, like,
Right.
there's, again, in the kind of original sense of Facebook and its early modifications, the some of the early changes, like it is a form of short form journalism, which can be powerful and important, especially when other forms of local journalism
Right.
are not funded or not available.
Yeah.
Um, but then when you mix in just all the garbage that is just inescapable now whether
It
it's the
is. Well, and that's
ads
what gets promoted.
and the suggested things that it's just that's why I can like barely touch Facebook anymore. Like there's a handful of people that I want to stay connected with,
Yeah.
or people who I respect and want to follow and see their thoughts on things. But it's also just is it worth it?
It's
So
garbage.
often. Yeah. And yeah, it is garbage. I know even my mom brought up something yesterday of like, oh, did you see this kid I went to high school with who posted this really eloquent thing about blah blah blah? I was like, I no, I did. I
Yeah.
think I was on Facebook yesterday, but it's not like I saw the same thing that you saw because it's just so overwhelming. There's just so much. So it's
There
like no
is.
longer like a place of reliable place to have
No.
community. Well, yeah, no longer a
Yeah.
reliable place, period. But like
Yeah.
to have that sense of community and connection,
Yeah.
you know,
It's kind of
it's
moved more
either,
into like utilizing groups, like the Facebook groups feature is somewhat still helpful
hmm.
as long as it's not like if it's a group of just thousands of that, like it's
Yeah,
just more garbage.
yeah, of course.
Um, so that's partly why the Facebook group I made for Wait Until
Hmm.
8th, like I have turned off the ability for someone to just post anything
Hmm.
without me seeing it first. And thankfully it's still such a small group. It's like 90 people now. Um, that no one is using it for debate or share
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's that's not its purpose. And that's not the purpose I wanted for it anyways. It was
Hmm.
more here's something that's happening in our community. If you want to be part of it or just learn more about it,
Hmm.
here it is. And
Hmm.
it's not a spot really for dialogue at this point because I want it to happen in person.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want discussion to happen in person. That's far
Hmm.
more valuable.
Hmm.
Um, I just, yeah, I was, I mean, I think I've mentioned before, I had Facebook when it started,
Yeah.
um, my freshman year of college, back when a poke was a,
Oh yeah. Oh, I know what pokes are,
yeah,
Jordan. I've been in like at one point recent, not super recently, but in the last year or so, I tried to get back in and find like, because I think they're still tucked in there somewhere. I
you
think you
can
can,
still do it, but the history,
yeah,
like there, I was looking for the history.
yeah. Because I was in a
Um,
poke war for quite a while
yeah, there
with the
is
most
not,
random person. It's like me and this person, like in high school, we never talked at all. Like we were in completely different friend groups, but somehow got in a poke war and just, I mean, if you're gonna poke me, I'm gonna poke you back.
yeah. Well, in 2004, which I won't go into much detail, but like that's I hate to even bring it up. That's how I met my college boyfriend. So so embarrassing. I'm almost confident that that's I don't because I had MySpace too, but I don't think it was from MySpace because there was no feature like that on
Well, I'll tell
MySpace.
you my MySpace boy thing,
Yeah,
is that I noticed because like of course I had looked at his page first, this crush I had. Same person I ended up next to at the pumpkin festival, by the way, at the parade. Did I tell you this? Should I tell the
oh
internet this?
yes. I think you told me off
I think
podcast
so too.
and now you've just made
But
it public.
I have. Well, we didn't say hi then. I
No.
don't imagine they're listening now, and if
Yeah.
they are, that's hilarious.
That would be funny.
But I remember, looking at his MySpace page, and you could list like all the bands, all the music that you liked,
Yes,
right? In addition to like having the playlist, the music on your page, we could just like list, and I think it tagged to the band's pages, right? Or
probably.
something like that.
Or
I'm like
yeah, link
visualizing
to.
it in my head that there was a band that I liked that was not on his page. And then after we like kind of started talking, I remember like
Oh,
looking at his page and being like, oh,
my
he added
band.
this band Cartel in the middle of his another band. Like he made a typo because there was another band called, I want to say The Chariot,
Oh,
but
I
then
don't
it
know this at
said
all.
The Cartel Chariot. So he like pasted it in the middle of that. So clearly he had just added
Yep.
it.
Yep. Man, the fact that you remember this is amazing.
I know, I know.
Um,
But
I
yeah,
I
yeah.
couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I mean, I don't even know if I had NSYNC on there because it was like that's not cool on
What?
MySpace. Yeah.
I bet I also get it.
It was
Yeah.
like angsty
Hmm.
stuff. I don't know.
Yes.
I wish I could remember. Like there was a moment that I used MySpace for the last time and didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that it was my last.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never closed my account,
Yeah. It
so
just
it's. I know it's not there
I
anymore,
tried to
but
log in like for a while when it was still there and I just didn't have
oh,
my password.
yeah, I couldn't tell you the email I used or the password.
Yeah.
I'd probably changed it to my Ball State password or email and password, and
Well, I like that
that
we
email's
can
gone.
only just be nostalgic for MySpace. Like I love that
I did like
it's like
MySpace.
that I never have to have a hate relationship with MySpace like I do
Yeah,
with Facebook because, as we both shared, like we do have and I don't know if core memories is too
right. It's
dramatic, but
not
we
core
have,
memories.
things that we do remember, like positive or just, teenage
Yeah,
interactions that we had
yeah.
through the internet because that
18-year-old
was part
Jordan.
of the way that we
Yeah.
communicated and connected with our peers. And so
Back
it's
when it
not
was a
that like
tool for
back
that.
exactly. It's like it's
Yeah,
not that I want to take that out of, teenagers, kids' hands, like, but it's so very different now
it is. It
because there's
is.
so much more. And I feel like, yeah, it's like, how do I say that without sounding curmudgeonly?
I
But
know.
is
Back
and
in my
it,
day.
but I think, talking through the
Right.
actual mechanics behind it, these algorithms that are, making it such a different experience now than it was
Well,
for,
they're hijacking your
yeah.
very impressionable brain.
Hmm.
I was listening to a podcast that was talking about how they are employing psychologists.
Hmm.
These social media companies are employing people who have very uh, detailed knowledge of the brain and how it functions to help design these apps to grab your attention for longer.
Yeah.
And like the major ethical concerns of that,
Hmm.
exploiting people's anyways. I just thought, well, that's
Yeah.
like that must be gross. Like,
Yeah.
and then I think
Yeah.
of,
How do
okay,
you,
the psychologist that you went to school, you went to a lot of school.
yeah.
It must be pretty darn lucrative because I can't think of any other
Right.
reason why you would do that
Yeah.
other than you are getting
Yeah.
majorly paid.
Yes.
Understandably so, because these companies have just basically
Majorly
limitless
money.
money.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
seems like limitless. So you are up against something that you can't beat is the
Hmm.
other thing. Like you're not going to win. It's designed for you to not win. It's a slot machine, but times a million. That's
Hmm.
why I feel like phones, or smartphones and social media get compared to s- slot machines because
Hmm.
that's what it is. That's the design. There's persuasive design. I was learning more about that. Um, oh, you're up against so much. And I just think of my teenage self and how any day that I was feeling down, which is
Hmm.
totally normal and
Hmm.
developmentally appropriate to
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
periods of, depression or periods of anxiety,
Hmm.
and then it can get very extreme very fast.
Hmm.
And you could even be a teenager looking for something relatively harmless. I mean, even the
Yeah.
skincare thing.
Yeah.
If it's like I want to learn hair tips,
Hmm.
like that probably would have been me because I didn't know how to do my hair. I want to learn how to do some
Yeah.
intricate braid.
Yeah.
The more you're watching those videos, it very quickly shifts to like things like eating disorders, and because
Hmm.
you're comparing bodies and hey, I do this with my hair, and then it transforms down because that's what gets clicked,
Hmm.
that's what gets watched, and so the algorithm is going to feed you things to keep you on longer. Like,
Hmm.
oh, I don't do that. I better watch more videos so that I can learn how to do that. And now I'm hooked, and now I'm depressed and anxious, and it's terrible, and it's dark.
Hmm.
Um, I know, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
No,
bringing it down. It's
no,
such a
no, no,
downer,
you're okay.
but it's honestly, it's my fear because Lily turns 2 in a week.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I
One more
forgot
week.
about
Yeah, Lily turns 2
October.
in a week.
Oh.
A week from today. And I keep thinking everything that I'm doing with this, I think about Camden and Lily. I mean, how can you not? For this my children, this next generation that's coming up, and how I don't want this for them.
Hmm.
And I just don't know what I would do if Lily went down this dark path of
Hmm.
things on social media of comparison, and and like hated herself.
Hmm.
Like how that's probably gonna happen regardless of social media. Like they just
Yeah.
do. It's awful. The girls do the comparison, and then the boys get sucked in with things like video games and the violence and pornography.
Hmm.
It is. That's what gets fed to them. Um, so the algorithms and the addiction piece are totally hard to go against.
Hmm.
They're hard to beat,
Yeah.
which is why I think the later, the longer you can go without using social media in your teenage years,
Hmm.
the better.
Hmm.
I sent you, or was it today or yesterday that it was a very
Yeah.
funny,
Yeah.
I think they're in New York, but I can't remember this Jewish school that I don't know who runs their, speaking of social
Hmm.
media, I don't know who
It's
does their
very
videos, but it
high
was so
quality.
clever,
Yeah.
very high quality. They just implemented this school year phone free. So bell to bell, no phones at school. And they were making a video about how it's going,
Hmm.
and you see that it opens up this teacher or principal, whoever's talking about it, and then you see a kid sitting on the floor with his hand up like he's
Hmm.
holding a phone, but there's no phone, and he's just like taking his finger like he's scrolling, and then you have girls doing a dance like it's TikTok, but it's just in front of this like digital camera that's hung up on the locker. And somebody's talking about, my dad said we used to use these for MapQuest. I don't even know what MapQuest is, and just going through all this
Yeah.
stuff and making
Yeah.
light of
That
it.
was very good.
But my favorite part was like they were passing notes.
Yeah. Well,
That
that.
does not happen today. And it is a lot, like that should be part of school.
Hmm.
The fear of getting caught, like,
Hmm.
and that someone accidentally getting a note that they weren't supposed to get,
Hmm.
which that happened to me, or leaving a note behind, and like,
Uh-huh.
there was revealing information on that, which is why
Yes.
you never signed your notes. Um, I don't remember what student I was talking about it with not too long ago. Did you ever do the coded notes? You made up your own alphabet. So like A meant a flower.
Oh,
Like you made your
yeah.
own coded. I think this was like sixth grade I
I was
did
gonna
this
say
with
maybe like
friends.
grade school. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sixth grade, where it was this I mean, talk
Mhm.
about time consuming.
Mhm.
You had to write a note, but you had to first make your alphabet, and then you better not lose that decoder because then you'd
Uh-huh.
have no way to read it.
It's like you were
So,
creating your own algorithm.
yes.
Um, oh gosh. What was I gonna say though? Uh, oh, well, I think, here my if I could end it on any sort of positive note, because like, yes, that
No, I'm
video
sorry.
use of
I
no,
made
no,
it
no,
very
no, no,
dark
you
today.
brought it positive because you remind, like of anything, like what can we do? Because somehow that funny positive video like made its way to you as
Yeah.
well. I
Yeah.
think, what responsibility we have to like feed the algorithm the good
Right.
positive things, because
Right.
I think about this, you and I were creating, we're 10 episodes into a podcast with some nice local region stuff, and I still feel like some sense of responsibility as a quote unquote
Yeah.
content we are creating content. We're not,
Not to the
what you would think of as an
masses,
influencer
but
content creator, but I would say that there are people who I follow, who I respect, a lot of whom are in like the running space,
yeah.
who use that platform to advocate for things such as disordered eating and issues that they have
Yeah.
gone through, but then using
Yeah.
their platform to share their stories of recovery, or what they do differently now and what they wish they could have done differently then. So I know that that kind of thing, that kind of content is out there for
Yeah.
young people as well.
Yeah.
And so if we, you know, feed the algorithm stuff like that, and if we support the kind of content we believe in, like that is ultimately the positive potential of algorithms. But
Right.
I also know that there is so much more behind it that you know,
Yeah.
I don't understand, that does tend towards the negative, the icky,
Well, and
the
even the
stuff I would,
different
yeah.
social media platforms have
Hmm.
different
Yeah.
algorithms. I
Yeah.
was reading about how like TikTok's it is the most addictive,
Hmm.
designed to be the most like it just the way it's formatted, and it's not something I even understand. Um, is incredibly addictive. It's really
Hmm.
hard to stop TikTok, like
Hmm.
stop using it
Hmm.
once you're on it. So it's not you really
Hmm.
necessarily. It is meant to keep you on there, and
Right.
they are employing every hijacked brain tactic they can so that you stay on. Um, yeah, circling back to the idea of I- the shadow banning. Had you
Oh
heard?
yeah.
Do you know what this is, or have
I
you
had
heard of that
vaguely heard of
before?
it, and then I read what you shared there, so go for it. Tell us all about it. And
So
your conspiracy, because that's
I,
where it.
well, and so I started to think, now I am not a large voice in this by any means, but I've started to notice, and by large voice, I mean my Facebook page, I've got really pared down. I don't have a ton of, don't keep tons and tons of people on there. I say friends in air quotes, people, my connections on Facebook. I had gone through and like just taken people out that I was like,
Mm,
I'm never gonna, I'm not ever talking to you again. Like what? I'm not looking at your stuff. You're not probably looking at my
mhm.
stuff. What's the point of staying connected on Facebook? Anyways, Brian has a different approach. He's
I,
got like every person that
yeah,
he's
everyone I've
ever,
ever met.
yeah. I just, I go through phases of like, all
Yeah.
right, you don't need to
It's,
stay on there. You're not
yeah.
going to be upset. We
Yeah.
we haven't talked in here. It's fine. Anyways, so I get that my following on Facebook is low, but I have noticed, especially when I've been posting things about Wait Until 8th and this new documentary, like because I've started utilizing stories, you get actually more engagement now if you use stories than you do a post. You're able to see those more. I read about that. So I started using stories and they were not getting viewed. And I get a decent, like the same kind of group of people. If I do look at the swipe up to see the views, it's usually the
Mhm.
same people. And it just wasn't happening. And so I had started to think, oh no, what did I do? Did I get banned by, Facebook? Because I know they know
Mhm.
what I'm posting about. And so I had posted in the WhatsApp group, the smartphone free childhood group. Like, has anybody else experienced this? I hate to sound like I know I'm not that important on social media, or, have that big of a following, but I've noticed a much
Mhm.
lower engagement. And maybe it truly is nobody cares. And maybe it's
Mhm.
no, or everyone's sick of seeing me post stuff about this. And that's fine. I don't, that doesn't bother me, but it just felt different. I just
Mhm.
noticed it. And there were several people who were like, yes, this is shadow banning.
Mhm.
And especially for larger content creators, that happens where it is suppressed and it's not put in people's main feeds. Like you can go to their page and see it, but you have to go seek it out
Mhm.
and click on their page. You're not showing up in the news feed. And so I thought I that is possibly what's going on, maybe.
Mhm.
Um, and the only way to fight against it is you just keep posting and sometimes ask for, like, if you see this, engage with it so
Mhm.
that other people can see it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so that's
I don't
shadow
know.
banning,
Yeah.
suppressing
Interesting.
content. And sometimes it can
Um,
happen if you've like violated, the
yeah, right.
rules, like if you've posted
Hmm.
content you weren't supposed to. But
But if there's any sort of gray area, like that can certainly be
yeah,
quite problematic.
yeah,
It's
it's a lot. It's
a
just
lot.
it's a lot. And I just it's the teenager folk. Well,
Hmm.
and because 10-year-olds are,
Yeah, right.
on
It's
smart,
like I want to just say teenagers,
it's
but I
not
know
just
that
10
it goes,
teenagers, but
yeah.
I don't see a benefit. I don't see a net positive for a 10-year-old, 11-year-old,
Mhm.
to be using social media sites like Instagram. They're not using Facebook. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
Instagram, it's Snapchat, and
Yeah.
it's TikTok. Those are what they're using.
Mhm. Well,
So I don't
I
have solutions for this one other than just, if I guess I should say, I don't want to leave anyone feeling badly. If, parents are
Mhm.
listening and their kid is using social media, I don't want you to feel like I am making a judgment or
Mhm.
thinking you are a bad parent for allowing this. I'm not.
Mhm.
It's so common. It's so normed. Like this is just what people are doing. I guess I would just be as aware as you possibly can of
Mhm.
like how much time is being spent and what's really being watched on there
Mm-hmm.
because kids are good at hiding stuff. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's also by design what I think teenage years, like you're figuring out how to do stuff without your
Mm-hmm.
parents. But social media is just so powerful
Mm-hmm.
that it can get really easy to get sucked into something. And you wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't, you might not see it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I would echo that awareness as well. It's like the just understanding how it works, like asking
yeah,
these questions, seeking out the resources, just so you are making informed decisions as best as you can. And
yeah. And
yeah.
maybe this is a two-parter episode
Mm-hmm.
because the documentary is called Can't Look Away really is. And I haven't watched it yet. That's the other thing. Like I haven't seen it myself. I've just seen the trailer
So
because I
you
don't have
can look away currently
I can
because
currently look away because I haven't watched it. I get 72 hours once I get the link.
oh
So,
nice.
I'm going to watch it first because I've been instructed that if you watch it with a group first, like it's really hard to talk afterwards
Mm-hmm.
because it's incredibly emotional and
Mm-hmm.
there's really dark like content warning.
Mm-hmm.
It's not recommended for kids 13 or younger, so you can kind of that
Yeah.
viewer discretion is advised because there's topics of suicide and
Mm-hmm.
drug use and debt. All of that is
Yeah.
part of it because that's what's on there. So
Right. I forget
anyways,
if I've asked you, did have you watched Adolescence? Are you familiar with this?
I have not.
Yeah.
I'm really I'm afraid to.
Yeah, you
I'm
have to be in
afraid
the
to see it.
right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No,
I
100%.
know I need to,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
afraid to, and I know that I should because I have a son.
I mean, it was really good. It was really
I've
hard,
heard it
but
was
it
well,
was
yeah,
it's I
very
mean,
well
it's just
done. But
phenomenally done. Yeah.
yeah,
Just even as a piece of art, like it's
right.
well crafted, but also yeah, just
Just
harrowing
heartbreaking.
and heartbreaking and stuck with me. You know, I watch a lot of TV. There are movies that like I could watch a week
Yeah.
later and be like, how does this end? I feel
Yeah.
like I'm still thinking about that,
Yeah.
months later. So, and
Yeah.
that should
It's
come into conversation sometime too, maybe after
yeah. Do
when
a
it's the right
combined.
time. Because yeah, no, that's
It's heavy.
Mitch couldn't watch it. He was like, no, it's back to school time. Like I'm
Yeah. I Brian
not.
doesn't want to
That's
watch it.
yeah, no,
He's
and
not
I
interested in
100% like
something so
choose.
dark.
It's okay. And here's another comparison of like we can choose to make that decision for ourselves, knowing that like this is not content that I want right now. This is not
Yeah.
the mood or the kinds of ideas
Yes.
that right. Whereas social media, it is so
All you gotta do
often
is
just
open it and
fed. Yeah, yeah. You really
it's
don't have that agency or that choice.
no.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we've set ourselves up with about 17 more episode topics,
Don't we always?
and we always do. We
Don't
keep
we always?
going. Do you have any final thoughts? Because I think otherwise.
It smells so bad outside. That's
Oh,
my final
does
thought.
it? Oh, did you?
Yeah.
When I
I know
dropped,
my usual ender is go outside,
yeah.
touch, which I still recommend. But holy cow, right now, I swear it's worse this year.
Well, there was a bad smell when I went to daycare on
It
Friday, which
is
is kind of by your
so
your neighborhood. So
foul.
I don't know if it's something to do with the sewage and it smells different
It's
from
different.
pumpkin. Yeah.
It's the pumpkin smell, but like
Yeah.
something else
But
has been mixed in there
something's
and it's real
yeah.
bad. There was I think we could hear not the show The Office, but the bar
Yeah.
downtown. There must have been some rockin' live
Oh my
band last
gosh.
night because Brian came home after the Morton Invitational
Yeah.
and I was like, who is drumming very loud and for very prolonged periods of time? And it is late.
Yeah.
Who is throwing a party? And we figured out it's probably we can because we can hear, we can
Yeah.
hear The Office. And I cracked the window to listen, and the
Whoosh.
smell, I was like, close
Yikes.
it, got close it immediately. And it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's worse than the regular pumpkin smell. I know
Yeah.
we've talked about the
Yeah.
pumpkin smell.
Yeah.
So take caution
Okay.
if you
Yeah.
are
Touch
local
grass,
right
but
now.
maybe somewhere not around
Wear
around us.
not even a mask gonna help you on this one, guys. Maybe put some really nice smelling lotion on your arm and hold your arm up to your nose if
There you
you're
go.
trying to go
Solid
outside.
advice. Solid
Yeah, it's
advice.
practical. It's practical.
Yeah. Cool. All
Yeah.
right. Well, what do I say? I say music, podcast music. It's
Yeah,
by Brian Spickelmeyer. The social media
I
is by
know.
Jordan, feeding that algorithm all the
Trying.
fabulous things.
Trying.
And audio editing is by Helen Plevka-Jones.
Expertly done by.
Catch you on the flippity flip.